This is every Bart Simpson relationship in The Simpsons. There comes a time in every boy's life when he falls in love, or thinks he falls in love, and that's what our little Bart is going through right now. The family is going to church, and the kids aren't really happy about that. Bart is acting like a spoiled brat, and Marge has had enough.
I don't want you playing with something that has such bizarre hair. Awful hair.
Marge, I think you better take a look in the mirror. But something quickly catches Bart's attention, and suddenly church isn't looking too bad.
Wow, there is a God.
Hate to break it to you, Bart, but that halo is just the product of a drunken lighthouse keeper, but keep going. But after Jessica shows no interest in Bart, he decides that he wants to keep trying. So, naturally, he goes back to Sunday school.
I'd like to return to your wonderful Sunday school, please.
But Bart, we banned you from Sunday school. You were happy. We were happy. Everybody was happy.
Oh geez, I can only imagine what he had done. You have to give it to Bart, he's really trying to win over Jessica's affection.
You know, the great thing about Sunday school is we're finally learning something we can use.
Yeah, so true. I have to turn my chair this way now.
What's wrong with this girl? He's just trying to be nice. Bart decides that he has to behave throughout the whole class, but he is faced with a challenge.
Must fight Satan. Make it up to him later.
He really is a devil child. Bart quickly makes it up to Satan when he pulls Willie's kilt up, earning 3 months in detention. But things take a more romantic turn in a matter of seconds.
I saw the way they set you up. That was really unfair. Want to have dinner at my house tonight?
Go Bart! But things don't really go as planned at Jessica's. Bart tried to put on his best behaving pants, but it was no use.
Don't you ever come near my daughter again. Never have I heard such gratuitous use of the word but.
But what they don't know is that someone likes Bart's unhinged behavior. Bart goes home all sad and disappointed when all of a sudden...
You're bad, Bart Simpson.
No, I'm not. I'm really...
Yes, you are. You're bad, and I like it.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
Ooh, Bart, you're making all the girls fold. The next day at school, Bart was bragging about going out with the minister's daughter, but his friends won't believe him, so he goes up to Jessica.
Yes? Am I supposed to know you?
A blow to the stomach, literally.
I'm sorry, Bart. You know my parents can't find out about us. And besides, if it's secret, it's even more exciting.
Emotional manipulation at such a young age. What has this world turned into? Bart and Jessica continue seeing each other, but it always seems that Bart is the one getting hurt, emotionally and physically.
Oh, you worry too much. Now come on, if you stay here a while, I'll let you hold my hand.
Teamwork! Come on, Bart.
I wonder who'll get in trouble for that. Surely won't be the minister's goody-goody daughter. Bart needs advice from Lisa, and she tells him that he should just give her up. If only it were that easy.
Put up with her for 7 more years. Then we'll get married. Once the first baby comes along, she's bound to settle down and start treating me right. After all, I deserve it.
I bet that's the same thing Marge thought when she was dating Homer, but some things never change. Lisa tells Bart that you cannot change a person, so Bart decides to quit Jessica. But then, it's time for church.
Well, Jessica, I don't think we should hang out together anymore. You're turning me into a criminal when all I want to be is a petty thug.
Good for you, Bart, standing up for yourself like that. Jessica steals the collection basket money, and Bart is the one who gets accused. Naturally, no one believes him when he tells them it wasn't him. But he doesn't want to snitch on his new girl. Bart goes to confront her, but she isn't really an easy person to talk to.
With the way you're treating me, why should I protect you?
Because if you tell, no one will believe you. Remember, I'm the sweet, perfect minister's daughter. And you're just yellow trash.
Oh, now that's just disgusting. Lisa tells everyone at church that it was actually Jessica who stole the money, and once they searched her room, they found proof. The only person in denial was her father.
Bart Simpson has somehow managed to sneak his bedroom into my house. Well, come on, use your imaginations.
That's just a sad excuse, really. Bart goes to talk to Jessica after the whole thing blew over, and he really says some sweet things, while she...
I learned that I can make men do whatever I want.
No, Bart, don't fold, don't fold.
Would you finish scrubbing these steps for me?
Poor sucker. It's amazing what some guys will do for a pretty face. Not me, though.
Yes, Bart, yes, you. But I guess it's normal to be naive when you're young and in love. I just hope that he'll be smarter when he grows up. Or will he? Have you ever wondered what the future has in store for Bart and Lisa? If you have, This is your lucky day, let's have a look. Bart and Lisa end up in Professor Frink's basement where he shows them what their futures will look like.
I'm so proud of you. Lisa graduating 2 years early. And Bart graduating.
Honestly, all of us are surprised. Lisa is going to the prom with Milhouse, and Bart's going with Jenda, his girlfriend.
Hey, Jenda, how about some forehead? Oh.
That was jagged.
No, that was weird. After prom, Bart and Jenda go to the contraception overlook to make out, like every normal American teenager, and Bart tells her he is ready to go all the way, but Jenda misunderstands his intentions.
I love you. Will you marry me?
That's really sweet. But marriage is a 3-year commitment. I mean, do you even know what you're gonna do with your life?
Oh, be sure that he does, Jenda.
You can waitress while I learn to cut meat. We'll live in a trailer.
Bart, I hate to say this, but I think I outgrew you.
When?
Just this minute.
That's a way to break a man's heart. Bart goes to Homer's, who is, by the way, separated from Marge. Homer tries to cheer him up by taking him the Moe's, but things turn weird real quick.
Son, say hello to Edna.
Dad, that's my 4th grade teacher.
Jesus Christ, could this get any weirder?
Want it to get weirder?
I don't think so.
Good call, Bart. We can both do better.
I seriously doubt that, but okay. Lisa advises Bart to get a job, which he does, and then saves Mr. Burns from a robber. As a reward, he gets a scholarship from Yale.
I can't take your scholarship. It's going to my sister. It would break her heart.
Don't be so quick to say no. The ladies love an Ivy Leaguer.
I mean, yeah, sure, Bart isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. It's crazy what you do for a girl who doesn't want to marry you. When Lisa finds this out, she is furious.
You wrecked my life!
Well, he didn't do anything yet. Bart gets back together with Jenda. Bart wants to look into the future at Professor Frink's house. He sees Lisa's future and Jenda isn't happy with him.
Listen, Bart, if you leave me now, I can guarantee one thing about your future. I won't be in it.
Yeah, duh. Bart runs off to get Lisa and thankfully interrupts this.
Well, okay. I guess this is my destiny.
What are you doing?
Keeping Lisa from destroying her life.
Come on, let her destroy it!
Great way to show love, Milhouse. Bart tells Lisa that he isn't taking the scholarship and everything ends in a perfect Simpson fashion. Homer and Marge get back together and make love under the sea. This is even better than The Little Mermaid. But what happens when a girl older than Bart is into him? Will he be able to resist? Bart and Milton go to the movies where they meet Jimbo and his girlfriend Shauna. Shauna doesn't want to watch the same movie Jimbo does, but he can't let her see a different movie alone because, according to him,
You're a total perv magnet. I'll find someone to take you. Someone unthreatening.
well, Bart may be in 4th grade, but are you sure he's unthreatening? Bart goes with Shauna and then they go to eat something. Shauna starts flirting with a guy at the food court and Bart steps in to stop her.
You do not two-time the man with the skull t-shirt.
Jimbo doesn't care about me.
Bart shows Shauna just a little bit of affection and all of a sudden her demeanor changes.
You know, for a 2nd grader, you're pretty sharp.
Careful there, Shauna, that's a felony charge right there. He is underage. Jimbo assigns Bart another date with Shauna, which she enthusiastically agrees to. The next day, the two of them go to the mall and Shauna steals a perfume.
If anything happens to her, I'll beat you up from inside your brain.
Because that's totally possible.
This is so cool. You took a fall for me. No one's done anything for me before.
That should be a reason to break up with your boyfriend, Shauna, not to mingle with underage boys. As a thank you for taking the fall for her, Shauna does whatever any adolescent girl can do in a situation like this.
Bart, here's my thank you gift.
What could a girl have that I... Oh my god, it's just like Dad's.
That's not the reaction I was hoping for, but okay. Bart is, how do I say this without being mean, too stunned to speak after the little, or not so little, gift Shauna gave him, and now everything reminds him of boobs.
Doesn't anyone here realize I'm only 10 years old?
No, Bart, nobody does. The next day, when Shauna and Bart meet for yet another chaperone date, Bart has some things on his mind.
Jimbo's a jerk. You can do better.
Wow, you told me what's best for me. At risk to yourself.
I mean, he is just a kid, and kids usually tell the truth. So Bart and Shauna start an affair, straight out of a romance movie. But no affair comes without consequences. Have we learned nothing from Karenina?
Simpson, I guess you don't have much respect for me.
Oh, Bart, you better start running. Marge invited the bullies to wait for Bart until he came back. Shauna shows up and wants to help Bart. They hide in Bart's treehouse, hoping no one will find them, but someone does.
Hello, lovebirds.
Of course, Lisa will come to Bart's rescue. That poor girl does nothing but get him out of trouble. Jimbo and his friends find the three of them in the treehouse, and Lisa's got some smart things to say.
I don't think Shauna should choose any of you. Shauna should choose Shauna.
Your older sister's right, Bart.
That's gotta break his heart.
I want to find out who I am. And that's something only an inappropriately older man can tell me.
Well, that is one lucky creepy guy.
This girl loves being on the edge. First an underage boy, then a guy at least twice her age. Girl, get a grip. Ultimately, Bart was saved once again, but will his heart be able to handle every heartbreak this well? Let's see. In this episode, Bart accidentally gets engaged, because that's something you can do on accident, all while raising a cow. Yeah, I know, weird. The episode kicks off with Bart and Homer driving, and Bart sees a big combine and he thinks that it's so damn cool. But once he sees who's driving it, he's shocked.
Martin? What's a tool like you doing on something cool like that?
It's part of my duties as a member of 4-H.
If only Bart knew what 4-H was. Bart decides he wants to become a member. Bart quickly gets into the whole 4-H thing. The kids are presented with a contest.
Okay, 4-H'ers, here's your summer project. Pick a calf and raise him up big, strong, and of course, God-fearing. And at the end of the summer, the best calf wins a blue ribbon.
Bart connects with a small, skinny calf.
Aww. Looks like we're partners. You're a scrappy little misfit, just like me.
Aw, that's so sweet. Lord knows what's in store for Bart with this one. Bart meets Mary, a girl who's also working on the farm and helps him learn how to take care of a cow. He names his calf Lou. Lou wins the calf contest, but Bart can't even imagine what happens next.
You're the greatest cow in the world. I'm gonna be your friend forever.
Bart, you do know what happens next.
Oh no. Bart finds out what happens to the winning cows and he is just devastated. But Homer always comes in with helpful advice.
Son, let this be a lesson. Never work hard and don't form emotional attachments.
I mean, he's not wrong. Bart is filled with guilt, and Lisa decides to help him rescue Lou. They sneak into the farm and find Lou with the help of Lisa's vegetarian, vegan, whatever you want to call them, friends. They decide to take Lou to Mary's, but her dad Cletus has other plans.
A young fella just offered Mary a cow.
By giving our daughter a cow, you've made a formal proposal of marriage.
Oh. Told you they missed something. Lisa tells Bart to say yes to marriage while they figure out how to save him, since it's the only way to save Lou. So, he does.
Mom, Dad, Bart's marrying one of Cletus's daughters.
We're putting a stop to this right now.
Wait, if you stop the wedding, Bart's cow will die, and he really cares about that cow, and Bart doesn't usually care about stuff, so help.
And you better do it fast, because You May Kiss the Bride is just around the corner. Marge stops the wedding just in time, but Bart won't budge. He will save Lou, no matter what.
Mom, I have to do this. I love that big old cow.
How could you say that? I starved myself to get into this dress.
No. You look great, honey.
She might look great, but Lou won't be if this isn't resolved soon. But the so-called cow they sent to the farm was actually Homer dressed as a cow, and the real Lou was safe.
Huh? Ooh, Laughter House! For the world and the shape it's in, we could all use some comedy.
Oh, sweet, stupid Homer. I hope you don't end up like minced meat. Marge and Bart take Lou to the airport, but where are they shipping him?
Don't worry, Bart. In India, your cow will be treated like a god and receive the food and medical care that in America would go to human beings.
Sad, but unfortunately true. But is Homer okay?
Ready for pick up. Ready for pick up. I'm a human being. Let me go.
Well, Homer, you are a human, but your weight is more cow-like. Marge stops the machines just before Homer is chopped into pieces.
Marge, kids, the things I saw, it makes me never want to eat meat again.
Yeah, right. And while Mary may not have been a bad almost wife to Bart in this episode, just wait till you see what she does once they meet again. Consider this a sequel of sorts. In the first episode of season 24, Bart takes a look at his past relationships and begins to think that maybe he is the problem. Lisa and Milhouse are dancing, and Bart's making fun of them, of course.
Hey, Bart, at least I've got a date.
Dance with me, please. I need to zing my sister.
Is it really worth it, Bart? Dancing with your teacher for what? Frankly, it's a little embarrassing. They continue bickering, and Lisa hits just the right spot.
Plenty of babes have docked at Porto de Barto.
Yeah, for about a week. But as soon as they get to know the real you, they departo de Barto. That's why you're alone tonight.
Right on the money, Lisa. Bart takes a look at his past relationships and figures out that Lisa is right. None of his relationships lasted that long.
Dad, can I ask you a question? How did you ever get a woman like Mom to stay with you?
Yeah, I want to hear the answer to this one, too.
I also keep things interesting.
All right, who took the microwave?
Yeah, I don't think that's it, Homer. Bart decides to pay a visit to his ex-girlfriends to prove they still like him, but things don't go as planned.
Eat my shorts!
Drop dead.
Eat fist, jerk.
That's gonna bruise, and I don't mean just his face. Bart goes to Mary Spuckler's house, but there he finds out she'd run off to New York, so he asks if he can go too, but they can't afford it.
Why, ladies, why?
Bart, now I am afraid you're starting to lose your mind. Homer finds a way to get Bart to New York, and his quest for Mary finally begins.
I guess my search for true love is doomed.
You've learned a very valuable life lesson, boy, which is that love doesn't exist except briefly between a man and a woman before marriage. After that, it's just hanging out with someone who kind of hates you, but you can't get it together to leave.
Way to depress a person, Homer. But all of a sudden, Mary shows up. Except she's all New York now. She tells Bart that she likes him, but she doesn't want to go back to Springfield, and just when they're about to kiss...
I've come to take you back, Mary.
Daddy?
I guess that would be the end of Mary's singing career in New York. Mary's dad tries to take her back to Springfield, but she and Bart sneak off. They share a romantic kiss, and Mary gives Bart some advice.
Bart, if any girl tries to fix you, let him, because you got a couple of big problems. But mostly, you're great.
Sad, but true. Mary's dad demands that Bart tell him where Mary's off, but Bart won't say a word.
I can't because Mary's the girl that proves that girls can like me. And she wouldn't like me anymore if I gave her up.
Good for you, Bart. You did the right thing. On the train ride home, Bart starts tearing up because he really misses Mary.
Oh, look at that. My little guy's finally realizing how complicated grown-up feelings can be.
Yeah, but you better make sure he treats her right the next time he sees her, or things will end badly for him again. Let's see how Bart's and Mary's reunion shall go. In this episode, Bart is a narrator and tells a story about him reuniting with his almost wife, Mary Spuckler. The bullies make Bart put a worm down a girl's dress. Bart does it, but he doesn't know that it's Mary.
Who's that sticking a fuzzy-wuzzy down my back?
Mary Spuckler!
Ah, that sweet moment of reuniting.
Did you miss me?
Get out of my face, cootie breath. I did miss you. You stink! Come over Saturday. I'm gonna have to push you.
Do what you must.
Wow, that's some serious pathology right there. Mary comes to Bart's early in the morning, but he seems to be ignoring her and playing video games all day.
Mary, could I steal Bart for a minute?
Ask his girlfriend, the game.
Ah, the thing every girlfriend has to resort to at some point in the relationship. Passive-aggressive behavior. Lisa, concerned with how Bart's treating his girlfriend, confronts him about his actions.
Bart, I do know this. You will not do better than Mary Spuckler, so don't ignore her for a stupid video game.
Lisa, you can talk and talk, but every man's true love is his favorite video game. Later on, Bart and Mary are at her place, and Bart always seems to find something better to do than pay attention to Mary.
Now what are you doing? I wrote a whole song for you, Bart Simpson.
But she quickly forgives him, because you know how men are with words.
You know what? Every now and then, you say the perfect thing.
Poor Mary. Bart goes on to tell Milhouse everything, like a true gentleman.
I can't wait to use your moves on Lisa.
Ew. On every level, ew. Bart, you have to treat girls like they matter, not like they're a bunch of Milhouse.
Oh, Lisa, if every man in the world could hear you.
Listen to your sister, boy.
What I'm saying applies to you too, Dad.
Like Homer will ever change his behavior towards Marge. Mary loses in her singing competition, and her spirits are down, so Lisa tries to help Bart cheer her up.
All I care is what you think, Bart.
Compliment her.
I don't know what she wants.
Well, use your brain, Bart. It's not that hard, I promise. A record producer invites Mary to dinner, and she invites Bart as well, which he refuses.
Mary, are you okay?
Sure. Everything's fine.
Damn, Bart, you got everything's fine as an answer. You couldn't have blown this more. Bart and Mary go to the place where every person goes to talk about important stuff, the Let's Just Talk point.
Bart, I think it's best if we take a break.
Back pats? This is a breakup.
Yeah, good thinking, Sherlock. Bart starts begging for forgiveness, but it's a bit too late for that now. But Bart starts blaming women for their ways when he overhears Marge and Homer fighting.
I am sick and tired of trying to decode you like you're some kind of human being separate from myself.
This is the problem with women. They don't say what they mean until it's too late.
Careful there, boys. You're making a big mistake.
All right, fine. If you boys want it, I'll tell you what I really think.
Finally, we're getting somewhere.
You're both in the doghouse, which is misleading because I still like the dog.
They got what was coming to them. Bart and Homer go to a motel and decide to throw a party with all the other men who got thrown out of their houses by their wives. But they missed them instead.
But to win back our women, we need to make a grand romantic gesture.
Hear, hear!
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. Come on, boys. Marge and all the other women get invited to the great gesture party at the motel, where the men promise to change their ways. But Mary has moved on.
Everyone is the main guy in their own story. My friend, welcome to my story.
Sorry, Bart, I guess you were too late.
And that's when I learned Cupid was just a fat, naked jerk with an arrow.
Bart goes on to say that love cannot be defined and that it's meaningless, but
fortunately, there is a cure. Any video game ever made.
As I said, the only true love a man has is his favorite video game. Bart, you should know by now that mixing love and friendship isn't the best option. So what were you thinking dating a girl who looks like Milhouse? As we all know by now, Bart never learns from his mistakes. So, he tries to date an older girl once again, but this time it's Milhouse's cousin. The episode kicks off with Homer being pissed off about the lavish birthday parties his neighbors throw for their kids. So, what does he do? He ruins every single party in the neighborhood.
Homer Simpson, do you know anything about these epic birthday fails?
Just what I read in the papers.
You did suck the helium out of all these balloons.
Try to be more sly next time, Homer. So, fast forward. Homer gets threatened by the guys who are behind the lavish birthday parties, and now he has to contribute to Rod Flanders' birthday. At Rod's party, Bart meets his new love interest.
Very amusing.
Whoa, I've seen all I need to see. But just in case, the face.
Be more superficial, Bart, would ya? Bart meets Milhouse's cousin from the Netherlands, Annika.
Whoa, you smoke?
It's an e-cigarette. Care to vape? Don't you want to be one of the cool kinderen?
Peer pressure, huh? The more time he spent with Annika, the more he liked her and wanted to impress her.
Be my little almond cookie and run down to the Quickie Mart. You can kiss me.
Oh, that felt so good. Now you know what nuzzling me would be like. Now, not so good.
Poor Lisa. What would her life be like if she ended up with that big nose? Bart goes to buy Annika e-cigs and decides that he'll get some for himself, too.
But remember, this is not kid stuff. Now, would you like bubblegum flavor, strawberry shortcake, or watermelon dream?
And that right there is why our country is falling to pieces. But let's not get into that. Bart's and Annika's hanging out grows to becoming vaping time, and Bart's really enjoying himself.
Annika, you've introduced me to a whole new world of butt games.
That sounds weird out of context, but I'll let you fill in the blanks yourself.
Now vape up.
Bart Simpson!
It's still legal in this state.
God, you just can't protect your kids enough.
Careful there, Bart, that Annika's no good. While Homer is sharing a heartfelt moment with his dad, Marge storms in.
Bart's smoking e-cigarettes.
Oh, those are totally legal. Tell me, does he like bubblegum or strawberry?
That's not very father-like of you, Homer, at least to pretend to care. Bart storms in, hollering about how they're sending Annika back to Holland. So Grandpa Simpson tells an encouraging story of how he met a girl named Sunny. Well, everybody found out it was in fact Homer's mom.
Mona? Sunny is Mona Simpson? Homer's mother?
Gee, she wasn't too sunny when I knew her. Although she really cheered up after she left you forever. That's the point! If you make a grand gesture, you can get any girl you want, even if she's completely wrong for you.
Oh, God, is he finally done with the story? That took forever. I hope Bart won't listen to him. That girl is up to no good. Oh, good lord. Bart runs into Annika, trying to get just a few words in before she leaves forever.
Before you leave, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't at least try to tell you how I feel.
A grand gesture. How American.
That girl has got some nerve.
I don't actually like you. You're only pleasant when you want something. Well, I'm really relieved you're leaving. And take these poison pen lights with you.
I've never seen someone quit smoking so fast. Annika gets insulted and starts speaking in Dutch, so God knows what she's saying, but Milhouse is there to give Bart some words of encouragement.
If it's the blue hair and the schnoz you're digging, I've got plenty more cousins. Thanks, Milhouse. I think I'm gonna steer clear of Van Houten's for a while. More for me. Marrying a cousin worked out great for my parents.
What's that sticking out of his mouth? I'm not even going to comment on the cousin marrying part. Nothing can surprise him anymore when it comes to that family. But that day, Bart learned a valuable lesson. Never date a Van Houten family member. What he didn't learn is not to mess with older girls. Just take a look at what he does in Season 4. In this earlier episode of The Simpsons, Bart falls in love with his new tomboyish neighbor, Laura Powers. Homer finds out that a new family will be moving across the street. Bart and Lisa sneak into their basement just so Bart can scare Lisa. But he wasn't expecting to be treated the same way.
Friend.
Who's a scaredy cat now? Bart meets his new neighbor and he is smitten.
She's beautiful. Say something clever. I fell on my bottom.
At least he didn't say something even more embarrassing like buttocks. They start hanging out and Bart is in awe of Laura. She can talk back to the bullies and defend both herself and him.
I was gonna tell your fortune. Oh man, you're gonna be rich. There's your mansion. There's a tennis court. There's a swimming pool.
I'll never wash this hand again.
Ew, Bart, that's disgusting on so many levels. Homer arranges that Laura will babysit the kids while he and Marge go to a fancy restaurant. Homer creates a slightly uncomfortable situation with Laura's mom.
I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes. I want to be fixed up with one of your friends as soon as you can arrange it.
Homer, don't get too cocky. Marge is right across the street. Laura comes to babysit, and Bart is just beside himself, all dressed up, talking fancy.
Why, Laura, what a pleasant surprise.
Cute. What do you guys want for dinner?
I don't care. Ask Hef over there.
Bart is starting to really like Laura. Everything seems picture perfect, except she's older than him. Bart goes to his grandpa for some advice.
Did you ever have a crush on an older woman?
But grandpa's of no use with all that old people blabbering. So Bart goes to the most reliable source of all, Homer.
Dad, I have some questions about women.
Son, a woman is a lot like a refrigerator. Actually, a woman is more like a beer.
You can guess only once how that conversation ended, with Homer drunk and talking gibberish. Bart still doesn't have his problem solved, and he's still very much in love with Laura. She tells him to meet her in the treehouse, alone.
I'm so happy. I just had to tell someone. I have a boyfriend. You won't be needing this.
Dreams crushed. And he hasn't even heard the worst part yet.
His name's Jimbo.
Ultimate betrayal.
Who's the dork? Leave him alone. He's just a kid.
I'll show them who's just a kid. Bart, it's your bedtime. I laid out your jammy jams.
Hate to break it to you, Bart, but you are just a kid. Laura comes over to babysit the kids once again and invites Jimbo over. Bart gets jealous, so he calls Mo and pulls a prank on him, pretending to be Jimbo.
You just made your second mistake, buddy boy.
Please, dude, don't hurt me. Oh, man.
That's your outlaw?
I mean, he is crying at knife point. I wouldn't take that as something not manlike, but okay. Laura breaks it off with Jimbo, proving Bart was right about him all along.
You know, if you were only old enough to grow a bad teenage mustache, I'd go out with you in a second.
Aww. Bart learned that sometimes it's best to just stay friends. No need to get into the pervy waters. But Bart doesn't give up on love. He even tries to find it in juvie. Even though Bart had an almost wedding, that didn't stop him from making a fake one. The episode kicks off with the family going to the mall, and Bart finds something resembling a gun, which he is not afraid to use.
It's not a toy, son. It's a barcode reader. It registers wedding gifts.
Oh, you shouldn't have told him that. Bart registers for presents and shoots every item in the store. He gets busted, and the judge sentences him to 6 months in juvie.
My baby boy is in jail. I'm the worst mom in the world.
Not all your fault. All these years I watched you turn our son into a time bomb, and yet I did nothing. So in a way, I too am a victim of you.
Great way to console your devastated wife, Homer. Lisa won't take Homer's gaslighting, so she steps in to give Marge some words of encouragement.
You're a great mom. You were always there for Bart with love and support. His acting out was probably caused by negative reinforcement.
Right on the money, Lisa. Bart's juvie time isn't really panning out to be all that fun. The cartoons are boring, there are a lot more bullies than in school, and he's all alone. But then, he meets someone.
Hello, ladies.
I'm Gina. You touch my fence again, and your puberty's gonna be very boring.
Oh, that's scary. Bart is visibly miserable, so Homer decides he's gonna get a job at the juvie as a security guard. But that doesn't help Bart. The juvie organizes some sort of mock prom, and Bart is paired up with Gina.
Okay, here's my rules. Hands at 10 and 2, no eye contact, and I don't want to hear how pretty I look.
Don't worry, you won't.
Getting beaten up by boys and girls. Bart, your self-esteem must be low. Gina figures out a way to escape and takes Bart with her.
We're getting out of here.
They're escaping! Seal the perimeter!
Why would I want to break out with you? Well, You do look pretty in the moonlight.
Men, they never listen. So Gina and Bart are now on the run. Wait, oh my god, they're like Bonnie and Clyde. I just hope they don't meet the same fate.
I am screwed.
You bet you are. Now, as long as we're together, I expect you to be a man.
But I have to whizzle. I miss prison.
He really is the spitting image of Homer. He'd rather be in jail than with a powerful girl. Homer, Marge, and Lisa are all watching TV when breaking news comes on saying Bart and Gina escaped prison.
Why would Bart escape if he's gonna be released in 2 weeks?
You just don't understand, boys. He's stupid!
Well, he is. He wasn't wrong. Bart and Gina find a way to the locksmith who uncuffs them, and they're finally free.
Bart, I'm gonna miss you so much.
Hey, the next time my mom asks me to help around the house, I could come live with your family.
At least take her out to dinner before you propose moving in. Jeez, Bart, have some class. Bart finds Gina crying in the woods, and she tells him that she doesn't actually have a family. The police catches them.
She took all the responsibility for the escape. You're free to go.
Yay, Bart! You got time off, like a true delinquent. Gina's back in juvie, getting back to her usual life, but someone is waiting for her in her cell.
I thought you might want to have a nice family dinner.
Thanks for showing my brother that girls can be cool.
What a nice, heartfelt moment. Bart finally got some semi-nice girlfriend experience. But what happens when Bart gets mixed up with twins? In this episode from season 27, Bart gets into a mix-up every guy has at one time or another, the twins mix-up. The episode starts in the past when Bart was just a young boy, making a mess, as usual. After he crashes a car into the freshly painted kitchen, Marge and Homer decide to go to a therapist.
In a boy like Bart, the attention he craves most is from his father.
That explains a lot. Bart feels like everyone likes Lisa better than him, and all of Homer's attention is going towards her.
But you're gonna be glad to have a sister when you grow up.
You're always gonna like her better than me.
We all kinda like her better than you, but that's got nothing to do with brains. But with decent human behavior. But okay. Bart grows up, and the only family member who seems to care about him is his grandpa. Bart and Homer are home alone and could have reconnected, but Homer totally blows it.
Wow, you make out just like Terry said you do.
Wait, you're not Terry?
No, I'm Sherry. But the further we go, the more you'll know the difference.
Ah, classic mix-up. Bart finds Homer up in his room smoking weed and gets mad at him for being so irresponsible.
When you arrived, I was terrified because it meant I wasn't a kid anymore. I had responsibilities. Truth is, I'm just like you, a misunderstood guy who wants his family to love him. I'm glad I have one kid who's never gonna go anywhere or do anything.
Damn it, Homer, you ruin everything. Bart enters a BMX competition, but somehow still gets outshined by Lisa. He starts drawing for himself and finds some comfort in that. At Milhouse's graduation party, he and Lisa have a fight.
Listen here, Bart Simpson. I am sick and tired of you blaming me for every setback you have ever had. And you have talents too, you idiot. You're a hell of an artist, even though you don't do anything with it.
That was the best backhanded compliment ever. Years later, Lisa shows up at Bart's bike shop/art gallery for a talk and sees that she's not in any of the pictures.
I do notice there's no me.
You weren't supposed to see.
Well, I'm glad I did.
Aw, sometimes you don't need a girlfriend or boyfriend to lift your spirits. Sometimes you just need your siblings. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give a like, subscribe, and comment down below which of Bart's girlfriends was your favorite.